Now
degrees and mostly cloudy in lower Manhattan. WOR News time is 9:05. Next news at 10 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens on New York's only local news talk station, 710 WOR. I'm Kristen Marks.
The following is a paid program. WOR's airing of this program constitutes neither an endorsement of the products offered or the ideas expressed.
Welcome, everybody. It's the Radiosurgery Show with Dr. Gil Lederman, MD, New York's only Harvard-trained, triple board-certified radiation oncologist who brings you the latest cancer treatment news, interviewing world-renowned cancer experts, delving into special cases, and, of course, answering your questions. I'm Rob Redstone, broadcasting from the WOR studios in the heart of New York City. And now, please welcome Dr. Lederman.
Hello, this is Gil Lederman. I'd like to welcome you to the Radiosurgery Hour. We have a new show on WR. It's twice every Sunday from 6 to 7 a.m. and 9 to 10 p.m. We have plenty of time to discuss the latest news about cancer care, health issues, speak to experts in the field, answer your questions. We're here to answer all your questions and try to provide the best possible information for you. For those interested in having their questions answered, please call us at 800-321-0710. Again, that's 800-321-0710. I'm here with Rob Redstone. How are you, Rob? All right. Well,
are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
Oh, great. Nice to speak to you. I haven't spoken to you in about a week. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We have a lot of interesting news tonight and some updates and some interesting patients from the week. I'd like to start actually with a new release of a drug for prostate cancer. And this is a drug for men with prostate cancer who have had a lot of prior treatment. So usually they've had first-line treatment. Unfortunately, didn't work. They've had second, third-line treatment, like hormonal treatment or chemotherapy, didn't work. And so the FDA has just approved a new drug called Xofigo. And it's actually, real name is radium RA223. So it's a radioactive product. And the idea of the product is to go to the bone metastasis. So this is for men with prostate cancer who have had recurrent cancer. Their cancer is in the bones only, not in any organ, and it's resistant. The cancer is resistant to hormonal manipulation. It's called castration-resistant prostate cancer, meaning the hormones don't have any role in this kind of cancer. And the FDA just did a fast-track approval, which is a rapid approval, because in the past, many people criticized them for taking too much time while their loved ones or themselves suffered from the cancer. So it's a second cancer drug that's been approved by the FDA in a short period of time, and it offers some advantages to men. What are the advantages? Well, number one, it's relatively safe. They studied 809 men with symptomatic castrate-resistant prostate cancer that had metastasized to the bone but not elsewhere. And the study was randomly allocating the drug to placebo, which means a fake drug, really like a sugar pill, plus the best standard of care. So the men were randomly allocated to the medicine versus the usual treatment. Side effects of the medicine included nausea, vomiting, swelling of the legs, and there was some lowering of the blood count, like anemia or lowering of the white count. Why would that be? Well, if the bone is getting radiated, the bone marrow where the white blood cells are produced is in the bone. And so the radiation with this technology would hurt the bone marrow and cause the lowering of the count. The benefit. So what's the benefit to men going through Xofigo medicine? The average man lived 14 months on the medicine. The average man on the placebo, or the best possible treatment out there, lived 11.2 months. So it was an advantage of about 3.8 months survival. The cost is estimated to be around $60,000 or $70,000 per 6 months. So most probably these men were, or their insurance companies were going to be paying more than $100,000 for a 3.8 month survival benefit. So it's certainly something to think about and to talk about. And when anyone gets treatment for cancer, they should always talk about what's the scientific basis for it. Doctor, why you're recommending it? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What are the costs to me or my insurance company? And then make your decision based upon that.
Now, is that a shot or a pill, or how does one actually take that?
Yeah, it's a radioactive shot, and it goes to the bone marrow, and it's not directed. So unlike, for example, radiosurgery, where we find the cancer and we zero in and treat the cancer and not healthy tissue, this is going all over the place, mainly directed for the bone, but you can see that it lowers the blood count because it's affecting the bone marrow.
Wow, so someone would have to be put under to, I guess, get that. I would
No, you're not put under at all. It's just an administration of a medicine, probably like you got blood drawn or something like that. So no, it's an easy to administer.
Okay.
I think the major issues are, one would be the cost, whether insurance companies will pay for it. The FDA has just approved it, so the next step is if you have insurance XYZ, is XYZ going to say $120,000 is too much for us to pay, or it's just the right amount to pay? And you're looking at a 3.8 month survival difference. So it's not a miracle cure. It's a little step. And a lot of people may say, yes, I want anything to live an extra day. And other people may say it's a lot of money for a little extra time. And there are side effects, including the swelling and the lowering the blood count. So it's a medical decision that a lot of people have to make. I don't know. How do you feel about it, Rob? What would you do if you were in that situation?
You know, it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money for a small amount of time, and it makes you I don't know if everybody could afford it, but I know there's a lot of people out there that do have a lot of money. And, you know, if I did have a lot of money, I would probably take it for an extra however many weeks or months, you know, might as well, especially like if there was something else on the horizon that maybe I could take and I could live just a little bit longer, I might actually take it. You know what I mean? It all depends on quality of life. You know, is it recommended, and what do you feel like when you take it? Is it like a one-off shot where you just take it once, or do you have to keep taking it week after week?
Usually it's for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah. But like you said, it does go throughout the body. It doesn't just stay where you put that shot in, correct?
Right, that's right.
Yeah, so it goes around.
There's an interesting second story, actually, I wanted to talk about tonight also, which is in the medical literature, and that is that just having a diagnosis of cancer increases the chance of a person being bankrupt. And often we don't talk about it, and doctors don't like to talk about cost of health care and the financial situation of a person, but I think the average person in America retires with about $30,000, $40,000 savings. So when you're talking about the average person spending twice their savings, the money has to come from somewhere if the insurance doesn't pay for it. And so a group of researchers from Washington State published in Health Affairs the chance of being bankrupt if you have cancer was actually 2.5 times more likely if you had cancer than if you didn't have cancer.
Yeah.
And so it's worrisome, and people have to worry about all aspects, their health, their life, symptoms, their loved ones.
I could see that happening, because what if you had to max out your credit cards? You had to sell the car just to get treatment, and then if you know you're going to pass away, maybe you might want to protect your wife and your family from the debt of all these medical bills. I can definitely see people doing that.
Right. So private insurance doesn't necessarily protect you from medical calamity. Nowadays, a lot of people have high deductibles. The insurance may not cover it all, or the insurance may put caps on it. So I certainly speak to patients about financial issues, because I do not want someone to mortgage their house or sell their car for me. And this study actually looked at an analysis of 197,000 people diagnosed with cancer between 1995 and 2009. And the results, can you guess what percent of cancer patients went bankrupt?
Let's see, 12%.
A lot less, actually. It was 2.2%
Okay.
of cancer patients. And what percent of non-cancer patients go bankrupt each year?
Probably 12%.
No, 1%.
Oh, okay.
So if you have, if you have no cancer, your chance of being bankrupt is about 1.1%. And if you have cancer, it's about 2.2%.
Wow, that goes to show how good I am in math.
Well, some of us knew that already, Rob. And who was most likely to have bankruptcy with cancer? Well, it was younger people, women, non-whites, and often people with localized cancer, so cancer that theoretically had a pretty good chance of being cured. So I guess if you're young and you have a good chance of being cured, a lot of people would probably say, look, I'm going to go for the cure because I'm young and it's the best thing I can do, and I can always get my money in the future, or try to get my money in the future again.
That's true.
And then the highest rates for bankruptcy a year after diagnosis were people with thyroid cancer, lung, uterine, and leukemia and lymphomas. So it's interesting to think about, and I think, as I say, everyone should balance between their health, their finances, their family situation. And some doctors and some facilities do different things with different issues, and some are more forthcoming to the patient. So I always try to recognize that people do not have endless amounts of money and they need some help in that regard. We try to do what we can to help each person as best we can.
Absolutely.
Rob, what does cancer mean to you? And we talked a lot about making this a college course, and college course page number one would be, what is cancer? So what, to you,
to me,
you're a layperson, what does it mean to you to
it means something I hopefully would like to avoid in my life. So, one of the things, I don't smoke. If I find out, like, for instance, on the news, and it made a big splash, was the fish oils were actually known to now give men prostate cancer. There's a link between fish oil supplements so men can get their omega-3s. Mm-hmm. And what do you think? The first thing I stopped taking was fish oils. So, who wants prostate cancer? That's
well, but that's a balance between that and heart disease and longevity, and so
true,
it's not.
But there are other sources of omega-3s, like chia seeds, and there's some other, like flax seeds. There are some other natural sources. So I'm guessing that a lot of people who are in the fish oil business are not too happy at the moment.
Right. So when you hear someone has cancer, what does it mean to you? What does the word cancer mean to you? And
it used to mean, a long time ago, it used to mean, I think, like a death sentence. Now, there's treatments, there's radiosurgery, what you do, there's chemotherapy. There's a few things out there. So, I don't. Not that I'm saying I'm not scared of cancer. God forbid. I'm pretty young, so the last thing I would ever want is to go to the doctor and say, "Oh, I've got this funny feeling," and find out a couple of weeks later that, God forbid, that I would have cancer. But
what does it mean when a neighbor comes or a family member comes and says, "Rob, I have cancer"? What does that word mean to you? And what is if you're going to define cancer for someone who flew in from Mars? How would you define cancer?
Well, I would probably say, if someone said, "Hey, I have cancer," what is this? I would probably say, it could be cells anywhere in your body. This is from what I know, that are mutating and spreading, and this mutation spread, and then you might have these tumors that grow, these like foreign-looking masses of mutated cells growing in, could be your brain, could be your prostate, could be your kidney, could be anywhere, or even in your bone, and they do you in unless you
right. Well, they do you in unless you have successful treatment, and obviously our goal is to find the cancer and find the best treatment, whether it's, the usual treatments are some form of surgery, chemo, radiation, and obviously everyone's trying to get their technology to be the best to supplant the other technology or to use in conjunction. And some people are taking action even if they don't have cancer. There's a new